But what I do want to talk about, if we're talking about hits, right? Because we keep hearing these conversations about Jay and
And all they do
who
is
could
talk about
see.
these damn hits. Like these
Right.
hits are like classic, Mike.
Well, no,
It's not
let me
follow.
finish what I'm saying. I
I'm
know what you're
sorry,
gonna
Mike.
go. Look,
Right.
they keep talking about Jay and the verses, right? And for whatever reason, people keep talking about Wayne. They keep talking about. They kind of staying out of the way of Kanye too. Wayne and Drake, right? And it seems like people aren't considering Nas because I guess they feel like the quote unquote hits don't line up. But what people don't understand is if you
Greatest dude.
play a song like "Give It to Me" or "Empire State of Mind," Nas is gonna come with like a New York state of mind. He's not gonna try to sit here and match you with "You Owe Me" or something. You're gonna get like "It Ain't Hard to Tell" or something. You're gonna get a
Mike, listen.
"Made You Look," and that's not gonna play well against those records.
Exactly, Mike. But this is what I've been saying. I told you. And Mike, I agree with everybody that's been running around saying this at the end of the year. Mike, the Jada Kiss performance on the verses exposed something in the fabric of hip hop that needed to be exposed.
Yeah.
When you're rooted in the fundamentals, Mike, like somebody like a Jada Kiss is, like a Nas, like a KRS-One, you set the tone for the shit in this rap shit.
But the thing about it is
Not
though,
Jay. People keep no,
cool.
Mike. Let me say this. People keep looking at Jay like Jay's the tone setter. If he were to go against Nas, nah, nigga,
Mm-mm.
this is rap.
No,
Nas is the tone setter.
no. That's why
Nas
he
coming in
keeps
here playing
talking
New York
about his
State of
beat.
Mind, like
That's
right.
why he
Nas
keeps
coming in
talking
here to
about
play
his
a New
B
York State of
sides.
Mind, right? Nas coming in here playing New York State of Mind and made you look. Let's go.
Cool, cool. Listen,
That shit ain't gonna fly.
Jay is as
Can I
much
get us not gonna fly?
Jay is as much of a
Big
hip
Pimpin' is
hop
not
head
gonna
as
fly.
we are. He listens to the show and he knows those songs won't fly either. That's why he keeps
Not
talking
gonna
about
fly.
B sides. That's why
Right,
he
Mike.
keeps
You,
talking
Mike.
about freestyles.
Mike,
He
he
knows
losing those
this.
too, Mike. He don't got Mike. This is what I keep telling y'all. He got some records for it, but Nas got records that keep going for it. It's like I'm gonna keep on naming them. It's like, well, what you want? Oh, Nas is like do rags, made you look. Where you want me to go, Mike? You want to go to some recent shit? You want to go to Store Run? You want to go to Death Row East? You want to go to the Truth? Mike, you want to go to Take It in Blood, Silent Murder, The Message, The Setup, Shootouts? Mike, where do you want to go? Memory Lane? Represent. It ain't hard to tell. The world is yours. Life's a bitch. Mike, he ain't got that kind of heat. He ain't never had that kind of heat though. That's what I keep on saying.
You know what? This is the thing. You got to pick a place,
He ain't never
right?
made records classic like that. He got about 5 to 10 records classic like that. Nas got like 30 records like that.
You
Where
gotta
y'all
pick a
been?
place. Like I don't know if you heard what, because everybody seems to be commenting on this stuff now. Because at the end of the day, look, I'm not trying to shit on anybody's platforms and all that, but you got political pundits, people who handle sports, all this stuff. They want to talk about a versus now. We talk about versus like, I mean, this is what we do, right? So we're able to kind of really see how these things factor out, how the catalogs come together, whatever, whatever. Anyway, I think it was Mark Lamont Hill was on his show talking about nobody's gonna beat Jay Z in a versus. I guess he was talking about the notion that Busta Rhymes could beat him, whatever. And he said something that bothered me. He said Kanye got the hits, but he ain't got the streets. Wait a minute. So when y'all want to pick what it is, when regardless of who it's with. So if it's against Nas, he ain't got the hits, but if it's against Kanye, he ain't got the streets. Which is it? You know
Mike,
what I'm
can I say
saying?
something right quick?
Which is
No, no,
it?
no.
And
Can I?
first of
Mike,
all, Kanye got
no,
some street records too. Honestly,
Mike, can I say something?
go ahead.
Like, I love Dr. Lamont Hill. I actually went to hear him speak at a Dr. King celebration that they had up at Kennesaw State some years back when I was actually going to school there. I think very, very highly of the brother. I don't go out to hear people speak. He is one of the few people that I think that of. I'm going to say this respectfully. Stay in your goddamn lane, though.
Yeah, he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, stay in your lane, fam. Straight up.
I mean,
I don't even know. I ain't
respectful.
even go. No, respectfully, because I love you, and that's why I was prefacing it by saying, like, no, I've shown up to hear you speak because I think so highly of you. Stay in your lane, though. This is what I'm talking about. Like we doing phone checks on everybody, including within the community. No, that shit ain't true.
Eric Jones says, I don't know if he's talking to us, but people in the chat are saying that this Magic is classic. He said, y'all overrating this Nas offering. It is not a classic. What say you,
Oh,
sir? What up, DeCarlo? We got your trivia game in the mail too, man. Hope you got
Oh,
it.
word. That's good.
But yeah,
Mike. I mean, it's just what's wrong with the album? Okay, because I'm gonna be honest with you. Can I give you my
I'm gonna
critique?
give
Because
you my. You know what? I'm gonna give you my weak point of the album, and I still
I
think it's
gotta,
a strong song. What do you think is the weakest song on there?
Mike, Hollywood Gangster is probably the weakest song.
I was gonna say Wu Tang for the Children.
That would be my second, like right in between there. But this is what I'm saying. So Mike, listen to my notes. That's where my Hollywood Gangster notes is. Nas is inspired regardless of the beat, and that's how you know he's locked in though. Like you can still hear that he's inspired, even though the track isn't all the way there. He's still like going for it on the record, and
This
he
is
can
why
really.
I didn't like Wu for the Children because again, he had such a great flow going, and like I told you, I haven't heard him flow like this since I Am, honestly. And I think when the beat was taken out of the record, I think he was chasing a little bit more, and he wasn't like, you know what I'm saying, like we weren't getting that snappy flow like everything else. But that's my only critique. Everything he said on there was dope. I mean, the track is dope. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I feel like if that record was on KD2, I would think it was one of the stronger ones. So that's how strong I feel like Magic is. But see,
No, no, no.
again, I think I'm biased towards Magic because it is in the chamber of Nas that I like the most,
No,
right?
Mike. So this is what I was about to say. This is pure unadulterated hip hop. That's Nas's chamber.
Yeah.
That real hip hop shit. That's why I'm saying. So how can y'all sit up there and acknowledge that this is like what the real pure hip hop sounds like, and then say somebody else is greater when he's obviously the best and is the best at doing the pure unadulterated hip hop shit?
But this is the
hip hop,
thing
right?
about Jay. This is the thing about Jay in the comparison,
Or
right?
is this about hits and looking flashy for the camera?
Well, you know what?
Pimp C say he ain't got no temperature.
All right. Well, this is the thing, man. It's the difference to me as far as like Jay and Nas like as a totality. It's like this longevity that this run that Nas is on right now, it can't be ignored. We can't sit here and take certain segments of people's career. We have to look at the totality of the thing. It's like looking at Peyton Manning and looking at Tom Brady now. Like at some point there was a debate, right? People like Peyton's the way he was passing the ball. It looked great, right? And he put up the numbers similar to Jay. But that longevity and actually going in there for the wins like Tom Brady has done and continuously doing it over and over. And when you see them get matched up, you see who's the victor. I mean, after a while, you know what? Let me just go to the chart. I'm just going to go to this chart, man.
No, Mike, hold on. Can you stop right quick before you
Go
go
ahead,
to the chart?
go ahead.
I want to say something. Here is where he is very much like Tom Brady. Like early on, Jay had like all the numbers, but Mike, if you really start looking at over a course of time, who got the championships? This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Illmatic, It Was Written, Stillmatic, Lost Tapes, Godson, KD2, Magic, Mike. I just named 7 albums that people think are classics.
No, that's real.
What are we talking about?
I mean, as far as being a tone setter as a lyricist too, like you know, that's. I mean,
that's not
this
even,
is the
that's not even a
thing.
question.
This is
Like
the thing that
Jay Z has like 4 or 5 records where lyrically he's like where Nas is like from beginning to end on record by himself.
But no, this is the thing that kind of takes
By
it
himself.
over the edge, though. It's like Nas is like,
Who knows?
you know, for most people who I guess weren't old enough. I mean, I wasn't even old enough to even understand what the buzz was like when Nas came in initially. Nas was like LeBron James. Like when people saw LeBron in high school, he was the chosen one before he even played a single game in the NBA. That's what Nas was before he even dropped the record. And then he dropped the record, and the record lived up to it. And then he continued to live up to it. And the fact that he is doing this at this stage, it's undeniable at this point.
So, Mike, most of the people who really know who Nas was were people, like in terms of like in the streets, you had to probably be born around, if you weren't in New York, you probably had to be born around 78, 79, 80 to really know who Nas was before Nas came out. I was born in 81. And the only reason I found out about Illmatic is because my cousin Mario, who was 4 years older, he knew who Nas was and copped that tape. And as soon as I finally pried my hands on that tape, and Mike, I didn't know what it was. Part of the reason why I listened to the tape was because I saw that cover and I was like, damn, that looks like, that looked like all of us.
Madnan says Nas is not Bron, he's MJ. I feel you, but what I'm saying
He's
is
talking about
that
the buzz.
I'm talking
He's
about the
the buzz.
buzz that LeBron had coming out of St. Mary. Man, I mean,
No, Snoop. I told you, Mike. Snoop and Nas had the biggest buzzes
not
like
in
in
the
the
same
history.
way though. Like
No,
Nas
not in the
was
same
like a
way, but it's still.
prophet.
But
Yeah, it's
yeah,
different.
no.
Yeah.
Nas was touted as the next Rakim,
Yeah.
but Snoop was
Like
touted
Snoop
as
was
like that
touted as the
dude.
next superstar and he lived up to that as well. But as
Not even
far
next
as
superstar, Mike. Not next superstar. First superstar.
but
First.
that's debatable. I still say LL Cool J is that, but
He
all
wasn't a
right.
superstar. LL never. You moved 5 million units, Mike.
Andre Shashir
After helping
says
Dr. Dre move
Magic or
forward.
Daytona. I'm still going Daytona, but I love Magic.
Ooh, Mike. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Lyrically,
I don't
Magic's
know.
better, but
Mike, okay, so let's have a conversation.
I don't
Mike.
know. I don't know if
Mike.
lyrically Magic's better. I
It
don't
is
know.
slightly. But how about this, Mike? I
It's
was actually
not.
thinking. No, it is slightly. Not by much. You know how I feel about Push. But it is because here's what I'm saying. When Nas is Nas and he can provide you with that content and be as lyrical as these other guys, it's not a win for them, Mike, because he's got you on the content. Now he's got you on the delivery. He already had you lyrically.
Yeah.
He already had you lyrically and on the content. He got his delivery intact. No, these dudes aren't better. Like, it's just, I'm talking about dudes that I love. But I was thinking to myself, Daytona from a King to a God and Magic are probably the best lyrical mic performances of the last 5 years, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Those three, right?
Yeah.
So, Mike, when was the last time somebody made something like on par with that prior to that? Because I think it's been a minute.
Man, the chat's blowing up right now. There was something that I saw on here that I did want to address. If we can get back to what you were saying, K. Thompson said Jay would be MJ because MJ had the work to be the GOAT. Bron was goated in high school. I feel that, but MJ also had physical gifts too. He had a 48-inch vertical. They say he ran a 4.3 in North Carolina. Not to mention the hands. Obviously, he worked, but he had some physical gifts too. You know what? I've been thinking about it over the past couple of days. I really think Nas might be the MJ, man. And I say this because Nas doesn't have a lot of help. MJ had a good amount of help, but it was like a standard amount of help. I would say AZ is his Scottie Pippen, maybe. Is that fair to say?
No,
but when you talk about teaming up with big threes, Nas doesn't have an album with Kanye West. Nas doesn't have 2 albums with R. Kelly. You know what I'm saying? Nas didn't have Just Blaze and Kanye West as on his production staff. Nas didn't have Beanie Siegel. You know what I'm saying? Like,
none of that. So I keep trying to say
that's big three stuff, and I feel like
Mike was getting like the best tracks from the best producers too because he was getting radio play. So he's getting Timbaland's best shit. He getting Pharrell's best shit. He getting everybody's best shit. Yeah, right.
Yeah. Samples getting cleared and everything. You know what I'm saying?
Samples getting cleared. No,